Hey, this Omar just on here uh recapping the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Second Super Bowl win in the past 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick Mahomes stating his case, that he the best quarterback. He's the MVP of the season. And he toughed out I want to say it's an okay performance. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of things went on in the game yesterday, and you know he came out with the win. You look at the team stats. It was third down conversions that stuck out. One of the ones that stuck out to me. I mean, KC was 4 of 8. The Eagles was 11 of 18. Um, Time of possessions was heavy for the Eagles, 35 minutes, and you know the Chiefs only had it for 24 minutes. They had two turnovers. That's the only reason the game went the way it was. If you looked at the game like literally and you just didn't watch no damn highlights, you saw Eagles was in total command of the game. If it wasn't for Jalen Hurts had them two mis miscues, and that basically costed them the game. But aside from that, it was really the Jalen Hurts show. I mean, he was on some other shit. Like throughout the season, you've been seeing him. He always kind of not really throwing the ball too much. It's always been at the max. It'd be like you know no more than 25 attempts. Usually not even that high. But this game, he went crazy. He went fucking crazy. I mean, I was like seeing him and like all passes on point, like just at the target. You know what I'm saying? For all the missed passes he had in the championship games, he made up for it and some. Hitting AJ Brown, hitting Devontae Smith, and hitting Goddard. You know what I'm saying? Like they was some beautiful passes. I mean, those bombs he threw to both was just like shoot, like just you seen it, just just amazing. I mean, you can't give him no more credit. Like as far as like he not no more credit, but he deserved a ton of credit. That's what I meant to say. I mean, running the ball, just getting any yard. If you want me to muscle up a yard, let me get that shit. And he was a running game. That's the only shit that surprised me was they ran the ball for 115. I was saying that they kind of needed to get a 130 or more, but they was relying heavily on the pass. Which that part of the coaching I didn't see. Like once they had the lead in the second half going, and then KC came and scored. I just thought they would let the running backs eat more. They only gave them seven. Both Gainwell, Sanders, and Scott only had seven, 17 carries. That wasn't really enough. They needed to like milk that clock, even though most of Philly drives was eating the clock. But I just thought they would let the running backs eat a little bit more, a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I thought, like I said, I thought 130 was the sweet number, and I said that on a prior video. I think that's the number, 130 or better, and they probably get the dub or whatever. But the game was the game was definitely, it was fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. The Cincinnati and the Rams game, that was a cool game to watch. And the one before that, Tampa Bay versus KC, I like that because Tampa Bay got the dub. And then Tampa Bay versus San Fran, that was a cool Super Bowl. Uh, the Rams versus the Patriots, it was an alright Super Bowl. And then if I am mistaken. I think the one before that, I'm just freestyling, but off the dome, I think the one uh before the Rams and the Patriots, I think it was the no, I don't think it was the Eagles. I don't think it was the Eagles and yeah, it was. It was the Eagles and the Patriots. All right. Yeah, I like that Super Bowl too. That joint was tight. But this Super Bowl gonna go down as a classic just because the different flows of the game, like I'm thinking, that they up 35-27. So I'm thinking like, all right, just run the ball out, you know what I'm saying? And KC was making, even though they had the ball that short amount of time, but they made every possession count. And they one of them teams that they'll do that. They Andy Reid was in his bag. He was calling all sorts of plays like that play where they found Sky Moore. He really was getting he really wasn't getting utilized in the game. Then all of a sudden, whoop, he just got caught, what I'm saying, leaking into the leaking out to the flat, and then he scored a touchdown. That was all the play calls Andy Reid was calling was on point, man. Patrick Mahomes, he only got bruised up them two. Let me see. I think he only got Q. I think they only got two QB hits as a team. Well, no, they had five QB hits. Yeah, they had five, and then the one that twisted his ankle. The dude put some sauce on that bitch, and so they thought that was going to mess him up. But Mahomes, he kind of came through in the fourth quarter. He made a lot of solid plays, man. Like he looking like every bit of what everybody's saying. It's cool to give him his roses because he that dude. You know what I'm saying? He make every pass, like an Aaron Rodgers type, but he just a little more clutch than Aaron Rodgers, right? And so Kelsey was next level. I mean, they really couldn't have an answer. They didn't have an answer to Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? He had 6 for 81 in the touchdown, and he probably would have had more, but because of the couple of short fields, right? And then they didn't really have the ball enough for him to really go over 100 yards. But just anytime they threw the ball to him, it's like he just found a way to just find an opening. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good route runner, and he's phenomenal run after the catch, and he finds the end zone. You know what I'm saying? They put the graphic up that he's he was 6 or 5 away from Jerry Rice. I think in the postseason. So that's saying something. You know what I'm saying? That Jerry Rice number been up there for some years, and the fact that he's closing in on that shows his production. You know what I'm saying? The defense, they made some plays that the one fluky play where Hurst just threw the ball out there and the guy scooped it, and and he ran for the score. I think it was Bolton. Yeah, Bolton did that play, and then what's the name did the other play. Yeah, what's the name did the other play, but how many sacks did the KC have? KC only had 2 sacks. Really, they really couldn't. They really wasn't fucked. They didn't really get Hurts off his square. He was just in total command of the game. Like he really should have. If it would have been hands down as far as like MVPs, that was like that performance is gonna go down as like for for the quarterbacks that lost. You know how people talk about the Tom Brady had 500 yards, and that was impressive as shit. They had 500, for his age and all that. That was impressive in the loss. Like this Jalen Hurts joint is right up there. Those two probably could be neck and neck as far as like for the moment in the fact that it's in the Super Bowl and all that. But yeah, man. I mean, like I'm like now a new fan of his because I mean I was kind of down on him when he first came because I didn't really the accuracy was it comes and goes. And even this year, the same thing. Like sometimes when they forced the Eagles to have to throw the ball, it was like they sometimes could they had to be in command of the chains most of the time, so it had to been mostly off the run that they get the dub. But now, after he showed yesterday that he's very capable of putting the team on the shoulders and throwing for 300 yards easy, like he used to do in Bama and Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he continue to work on the craft, use that as a motivator, and come back even better. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of grit. You know what I'm saying? He's just, there's not enough words you could say. Like, you know what I'm saying? We saw two black quarterbacks going at it, and it was just all the whole display. I just, like I said, I'm in awe of Jalen Hurts' accuracy. I did not see that at all. And so the fact that they did that, and the running backs literally didn't give him nothing, which you would have thought if that was the case, the running backs give him nothing. Philly getting smashed, but it's the opposite. It's like the Eagles literally scored. They scored 5 touchdowns, and the Kansas City offense scored 3 touchdowns. Like nobody would have saw that shit, But yeah, KC did a phenomenal job as executing. That play at the end, it was. I know. Brad Bird, he said he did hold, and I get that shit, but the pass from your eyes sitting watching it, it looked like it wasn't a catchable pass, But even without the little misdirection, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Juju would have came down on it, or Juju would have been able to catch it, but so the refs kind of doing that because you doing that knowing that's fourth down. They kick the field goal, and Philly more than likely gonna drive the field and score. You know what I'm saying? How Jalen Hurts was feeling, the vibe, the energy, the confidence. He was going to monster field. And worst case scenario, that game would have went into overtime, which the refs should have just did that, and then it would have been a wash. They in that fifth quarter, and then whoever win it and shit. But they played it out the way they played out. Sometimes the refs should call a game like in the NBA where, when it's like that tight of a game, and it wasn't as outrageous pass interference. I mean, it was pass interference, but it wasn't like a dude got tackled or some crazy shit like that. It was some slight shit which they gotta let the dudes go at it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would have said. Like, yeah, just you gotta let them dudes go at it. They fighting for every inch or whatever. But they called it the way they called it. KC get the chip, and so that now is, we're gonna see if they can repeat next year. But congrats to Kansas City, and definitely, much props to Jalen Hurts. He put on a hell of a show, and if you missed it, you catch the highlights or something, or even just watch the play over. The play over is gonna look just as cool because they're gonna chop out all the commercials and shit. But yeah, one of the better Super Bowls in the last couple of years. So yeah, that's all I got on it. All right, thanks for listening.